Hola, buenos días o hola, buenas tardes, año nuevo, bienvenidos a la clase de español. Hello, good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to the Spanish lesson. So this is our first lesson of 3 this week. This is week 5. Can you please write today's title and the title that is going to be for the next 3 lessons and today's date in Spanish. And make sure that you underline the title and the date. Once you have done that, let's move on to the next, the first activity of the day. So you start the activity, you have to unjumble the sentences. You've got 4 sentences and you need to put them in the correct order. The challenge is that you are going to write your own sentence saying what your cousin, and in brackets you've got M for masculine, must do or not do to live a healthy life. You must say what he must do or what he must not do, but you can say what he must do and must not do. So I'm going to leave that to you, but please try to do the challenge. So let's see if you have unjumbled these sentences correctly. 1. Debéis beber menos refrescos y beber más agua. So the base is the you plural, okay? So you must drink less fizzy drinks and drink more water. 2. No debes fumar cigarrillos y tomar drogas. So you must not smoke cigarettes and take drugs. 3. Para llevar una vida más sana, no debes beber alcohol. To lead a healthier life, you must not drink alcohol. 4. Me gusta estar en forma. Hago deporte 5 veces a la semana. I like to be fit. I do sport 5 times a week. Okay, so please check that you've got the correct structure of the sentence. Look for the spellings. And I'm expecting that the majority of you have done the challenge. I've done the challenge, and my sentence is: Mi primo debe hacer deporte frecuentemente y no debe fumar cigarrillos y tomar drogas. No es bueno para su salud. So I said, my cousin must do sport frequently, and he must not smoke cigarettes and take drugs. It is not good for his health. Okay, that's what my sentence is. So well done, guys, for doing this activity. Well done for everybody that have 4. If you have 3, well done. If you have 2, well done. If you have 1, well done. So the objectives of the lesson is understand vocabulary about lifestyle changes. So you already have had a bank of vocabulary about different lifestyles, what you must do, what you must not do. So you got that vocabulary already. There's not going to be more new vocabulary for the next 3 lessons. And the second objective is to apply the vocabulary learned writing about your lifestyle using 3 tenses together. So we are going to concentrate during the next 3 lessons in this, using 3 tenses together. You did your writing task a week ago, and I could see that the majority of you are able to use 3 tenses together, but we are going to revise because our aim is that you are going to put now everything that you have learned, vocabulary and grammar, together in a writing task. And then you should be able to evaluate and set targets on how to improve further. So we're going to revise looking at the 3 tenses. And instead of me teaching you again, because you know, and you've been doing this for a very long time, we are going to do this, and we really need to imagine that we are in the classroom, okay? We really need to do it like this. So please just try to follow my instructions. So the first thing is I'm going to warm up your brain. Let's warm up your brain. So have a look at the questions. What is a verb? What is an infinitive? What is the most important part of the verb in Spanish? Is it the beginning? Is it the middle? Is it the end? What is a subject pronoun? So stop the video now and give yourself a minute or two to think about these questions. You can write these questions and write the answers. You can just write the answers in bullet points in your book, but please think about it. Stop the video and think about it. Right, so what is a verb? So a verb is a doing word, okay? What is an infinitive? So an infinitive is the basic form of the verb, which in English is the word to plus the verb. For example, to play, to dance, to drink, to eat, to sleep, to laugh, okay? So what is the most important part of the verb? Is it the beginning? Is it the middle? Or is it the end? So the most important part is the end, because the end is going to tell us who is talking, who you are talking about, who is going to be doing the action, who you are going to ask to do the action, okay? And what is the subject pronoun? So the subject pronoun is the person, and the person dictates the form of the verb, okay? So now that your brain has warmed up, let's do the next activity. Vamos a mirar la siguiente actividad. So the first thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna draw this table and you're gonna draw this table just exactly as I've got it on the screen, as you got it on the screen. Okay, so pause the video, do this table, draw this table. Can you please write exactly the same? So Spanish infinitive verbs and in, infinitive verb, and so on. Pause the video and draw this table. Okay, so you got these tables now. So what I want you to do is Spanish infinitive verbs ends in. I'm not gonna say, you're gonna write it down. So pause the video and write here the endings of the infinitive verbs in Spanish. So the only hint I'm going to give you is that there are three. As you know, there are three. What are the endings of those verbs, Spanish verbs? Okay, so pause the video, write it down. Okay, so you got that now. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to look at this column, infinitive verb. I want you to think of three verbs that have those endings, and I want you to write it down. So have a look at your notes, have a look at any booklet that you might have a list of Spanish verbs. And since year 7 to now, you've been using loads of different Spanish verbs. Okay, so I want you to find three verbs with these endings, and more importantly, they are regular verbs. I don't want you to use irregular. I don't want you to use anything but regular verbs. And just to remind you, regular verbs are the verbs which stem is always the same, and the only thing that changes is the ending. Okay, so you take the ending of the infinitive verb and you replace it with the correct ending according to the person, to the pronoun. Okay, so three verbs in this column in the infinitive form with the endings that you have written previously. So stop the video and write it down. So now you've got those verbs. What I want you to do now, we are going to walk across, okay? We are gonna walk across, and what you're gonna do is that you have the first infinitive verb, and we are going to use the I form, yo, okay? The I form, yo. So I want you to write the I form of this infinitive verb in the present tense here. And then the I form of this infinitive verb in the preterite tense here. And then the I form of this infinitive verb in the near future tense form here. Okay? And then I want you to do the same with this infinitive verb and with this infinitive verb. Okay? Like I said, you're doing this for me. Imagine we're in the class and I'm asking you to do this task, working with your pair or working in group of 3 or 4, and take your time. So take your time to complete this table. Pause the video and complete the table. Okay, so I am assuming that you've got now all this table completed. So let's have a look. I am going to do, or I've done exactly what you should have done. So Spanish infinitive verbs ends in AR, ER, and IR. And I believe everybody has written that, so well done. Okay, those are the three types of verbs that we've got in infinitive. And then I have completed my table. So I have thought of regular verbs and I decided to use bailar, comer, vivir. Now, you might have exactly the same. You might have beber instead of comer. You might have estudiar instead of bailar. You might have reír instead of vivir, you might have different verbs, okay? It doesn't matter. The important thing is that they finish in AR, ER, IR, and they are regular verbs, meaning that the stem stays the same and the only thing that changes is the ending. Then I said to you that we're gonna conjugate. So we're gonna put the present in the I form, the preterite, and the near future, all in the I form. Okay, so for bailar is bailo, bailé, the preterite, and the near future tense is voy a bailar. Por comer is como, I eat, comí, I ate, and then voy a comer, I am going to eat. Vivir is vivo, I live, viví, I lived, and the near future tense, voy a vivir, I am going to live. Okay? So well done, guys, if you have completed this table. Brilliant work. Now, when we're talking about tenses, it's not just the verbs. It's also something that is very important, and that is time expressions. Okay? So time expressions are very important. So here you've got this table with time expressions in the present tense. So again, I want you to draw this table. So today you're gonna be drawing many tables. So that's why it's not a very lengthy lesson, because I know it takes time and many of you love to have very neat and very organized and tidy notes. So draw this table, write all these time expressions in the present tense, and then I want you to find the meaning in English. So what I would like you to do at this time is to pause the video, write down the ones that you know, okay, write down the translation. And if the ones you do not know, look for it in word reference, okay? So pause the video and do the table and complete the translation. Right? So you should have the following. So todos los días is every day, de vez en cuando is from time to time, a veces, sometimes, siempre, always, nunca, never, a menudo, often, todos los días, every day, I've got that repeated, sorry, perdón. Casi nunca is almost never, dos veces a la semana, twice a week. I believe that when you have written the table, you have noticed that I put todos los días twice, and you will not have put that yourself, okay? So you have been using these time expressions in the past few weeks, okay? So I'm sort of expecting that everybody should have been able to translate it without looking at any notes. So then we've got time expressions in the past tense, okay? So this time I am giving you the English and I need you to find the Spanish translation, okay? So again, pause the video, draw the table, write the English, find the meaning in Spanish. Okay, so you now should have, ayer is yesterday, last week is la semana pasada, the day before yesterday is anteayer, last month is el mes pasado, last night is anoche, the other day is el otro día, last year is el año pasado, then, entonces, 2 days ago, hace 2 días, 2 years ago, hace 2 años, yesterday morning is ayer por la mañana. Okay, so well done, guys. if you have to challenge yourself by writing the meaning without looking at any notes. Okay, well done for that. Again, you have used some of these throughout the weeks. And then, yes, you guess, we got the near future tense. Okay, so this time I just put a model up. So you've got the English and you need to find the Spanish. And in the second part of the table, you've got the Spanish and you need to find the English. Okay, so again, pause the video, draw the table, and write and find the translation accordingly. So for the first part, we've got mañana es tomorrow, más tarde es later, la semana que viene es next week, el mes próximo es next month, el año que viene next year, el fin de semana próximo next weekend. And then the version, the translation in English is esta tarde es this afternoon, esta noche es tonight, mañana por la mañana es tomorrow morning, mañana por la tarde es tomorrow afternoon, y mañana por la noche es tomorrow night. Okay, so well done again, guys, if you have been able to complete the translation without having to look at any notes or looking on the internet. Brilliant. So we come back to this, okay? So you've got now your table. You now have a bank of time expressions. So what I want you to do now is you are going to choose one verb from your table. Any verb. It can be bailar, comer, vivir, or whatever the verbs that you have chosen that finish in AR, ER, and IR. So you're going to choose one, okay? And then you are going to write full sentences. What I mean, and I'm going to show you my examples in a moment, is that you need to have a sentence with the verb in the infinitive, a sentence in the present tense, a sentence in the pretérito tense, a sentence in the near future tense. And of course, you have to use time expressions, and you've got that now. Okay, so you can look back at your notes and use those time expressions. Once you have written your sentences, 4 sentences, you're gonna translate them. So I'm gonna show you my example. I've done this. So I've got my 4 sentences. I'm gonna read them to you and I'm gonna translate them to you. So, me gusta mucho bailar. Bailar is the verb I have chosen. So, me gusta mucho bailar. Normalmente bailo cuando salgo con mis amigos. La semana pasada bailé en una fiesta. El año que viene voy a bailar en el carnaval de Cádiz. So, those are my 4 sentences. So, me gusta mucho bailar. I like to dance a lot. Normalmente bailo cuando salgo con mis amigos. I normally dance when I go out with my friends, present tense. La semana pasada bailé en una fiesta. Last week I danced at a party, pretérito tense. El año que viene voy a bailar en el carnaval de Cádiz. So next year I am going to dance in the Cádiz carnival. Okay, near future tense. So I have written my sentences. I have translated them. I have translated them verbally. You have to write the translation, okay? So pause the video and do this task. Now, once you've done this, have a look at the challenge and everybody can do this challenge. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna choose one sentence, either in the present tense, either in the past, in the pretérito tense, or in the near future tense. You're gonna choose only one. And you're gonna take that sentence and you're gonna change the verb in the to the you plural form. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I've taken one of my sentences, which is the pretérito, and I have changed the verb, and the one is bailé, okay, and I'm changing for the you plural. So hace 2 años vosotros bailasteis en la disco cerca de la playa en México. Okay, and I made the sentence. So 2 years ago, you, plural, danced in a disco near the seaside in Mexico. Okay, so pause the video and write your sentences. Once you have changed the verb to the you form, the you plural form, can you please translate your sentence as well? So, You've got now, we just revised the different tenses, okay? We have revised the different tenses of regular verbs in the present, in the preterite, and the near future tense. You have used the three types of verbs that finish in AR, ER, and IR. So it is important to recognize which tense is being used in speech or text, okay? So when you are listening to activities, when you are reading text, it's important that you can spot in which tense the text is being written or the different paragraphs. But it's also very important that you use the correct tenses when you are talking or when you are writing. And what is very important as well is that you look for key time expressions. And that's why I have given you a bank of different time expressions, okay? So this is our last activity. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna read this text. You've got three texts, and obviously they are written with different verb tenses. What I want you to do is to read the text. You don't need to understand everything, because at the moment we're not reading for comprehension. We are reading to, you can read like in detail, or you can just skim and scan, okay? Skim and scan and find verbs that are in the present, preterite, and near future tense, okay? So what verbs are being used? Obviously you cannot highlight this, so you're gonna have to make a list. So what my advice would be, maybe you can draw the table as you've done previously and put the verbs in the present, in the preterite, and the near future tense. And can you find any time expressions? If you can you write it down as well? Okay, so pause the video and find all those verbs in the present, in the preterite, and the near future tense. So let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read each of the texts so you can hear to the pronunciation, okay? And as I'm reading, I will be underlining the verbs that I have found. So, uno. A partir de hoy voy a llevar una vida más sana. Voy a comer bien y voy a beber al menos 2 litros de agua al día. También voy a hacer deporte frecuentemente. Voy a dormir 8 horas y nunca más voy a fumar cigarrillos. No voy a beber alcohol y quizás no voy a salir con mis amigos nunca más. Okay, so don't worry if you understood or you didn't understand. If you did, perfect. But this is what I want to do. So if you've got all these verbs highlighted in this text, brilliant. Now, my question is that in which tense is this? Okay, in which tense is this? So can you please write number 1 and say preterite, present, near future tense? Write it down. Okay, I'm gonna read number, el texto número 2, ¿vale? So, normalmente los domingos, so there we go, we've got a time expression. So, normalmente los domingos voy al polideportivo y juego al voleibol o hago natación. Pero ahora no me encuentro bien. Me duele la cabeza, tengo dolor de estómago y estoy muy cansado. Por eso duermo mucho, veo un poco la televisión y leo. No como nada y solo bebo agua. Uah, tengo que ir al baño. Okay, so here you've got the verbs and we've got a time expression. So well done if you have spotted all of them. If by any chance I have forgotten something, I have forgotten to highlight one, please let me know. So we got the time expression. So again, once you got those verbs, can you write number número 2, number 2, and say to me what verb tense you have highlighted. Is it the present, the preterite, or the near future tense? And now I'm going to read number 3. Ayer por la noche. So ayer is a time expression. Okay, ayer por la noche, all of it. Salí con unos amigos. Primero fuimos al salón recreativo donde cantamos karaoke. Y después fuimos a la discoteca. Fue muy divertido. Bailé salsa casi toda la noche. Lo pasé bomba. Pero solo dormí 3 horas. So, pasé is like to spend. So, I had a great time. Lo pasé bomba translate as I had a great time. Yeah. But pasé would be like I spent a great time. Literally. Okay. También bebí una botella de vino, comí 3 hamburguesas y fumé 10 cigarrillos. Más tarde fui a casa a pie y vomité en el parque. ¡Qué vergüenza! Okay, so again, so we got time expression and we got all these verbs highlighted. So again, escribir número 3, which tense. Okay, it's the preterite, the present tense, or the near future tense. Before I move on, could you please make sure that the vocabulary in this blue box you have written it? Casi means almost, y por eso means that's why. And we in Spanish use por eso a lot, a lot. Okay, so that's why this, that's why that, that's why. Por eso, por eso, por eso. We use it a lot. So well done, guys, if you have been able to spot all of them, or the majority of them, or only some of them, okay? That is brilliant. So my last request is, as a plenary, what I want you to do is to write down 2 sentences summarizing today's lesson. And that's it. This is for today. This is our lesson 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you complete the activities. It's very important that in this lesson you have all the tables with the verbs and the table with the time expressions, okay? We will continue talking and working on the 3 tenses, so you can do at the end your writing task. Make sure that at the end of the lesson, you submit your work, and I will be seeing you in lesson 2, okay? So, muchas gracias y hasta la próxima. Adiós.